I used to work in a coating industry where we had 12 different versions of bone white. So white was the favorite color. And I got to tell you, psychologically, there have been all kinds of tests done. People tend to want to move through white rather than settle into it. So if you look at the office building, if you look at the home, up in the corner, that's the waiting room for a restaurant. All of these would be very difficult places to spend a lot of time in. And let me tell you, the office, not only would it be difficult to spend a lot of time in, your employees would probably end up with headaches. They would probably end up with lots of eye strain, a whole number of issues. And anybody have any idea why that might be? It's because of the level of reflectivity of light. You know, there actually is an amount that is too much light. And if there's too much light reflecting back to your eye, it causes strain. And employees working at a work desk, if it's bright white and it's glossy, it's going to create a lot of strain. Again, there have been studies done, and whether it's kids in school or people in work environments, a lower level of reflectivity is much more conducive to a healthy work environment. I put down recommended reflectivity levels. And to give you an idea, what do I mean when I say 20 to 50% for walls, 10 to 45% for floors, 60 to 85% for ceilings? If you look at this home and this office, most of the walls and surfaces probably have higher than a 90% reflectivity level, which is way too much. The other thing, this glossy floor, does that remind anybody of ice? You know, as human beings, we want to walk on something that we feel is stable, grounded, and anything that looks like ice is going to make people very uncomfortable. So, you see white carpeting, even more difficult than white carpeting is a shiny surface that looks slick. Okay, I was talking about light reflective values. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. The top color is what I would call fully saturated versions of a purple, green, and yellow. And depending on the hue, it's going to impact what kind of level of light is reflected from it. But the point is, you can take a look at this and you can see how dark or light the colors are, and they're still, below 50% reflectivity. And as I said before, 30, 45, 58. So again, these colors are probably darker than what most people would want to be comfortable in an office environment using. If you go much lighter than the numbers I indicated, you lose the impact of the color, and it ends up feeling almost like it's a white. Another thing to keep in mind when you're looking at office environments is what's the typical age and personality of your staff. What do you think about this environment? Young, yeah, young. What else? Active, right? Probably energetic. This one could be anybody, right? This is a universal office. Man, woman, right? The only thing about this one that I would change is I would get rid of this glass top white desk and replace it with just natural wood so it wouldn't be so reflective.